Let us write an algorithm to swap or interchange two values. To swap or I say interchange two given values. So for this purpose we want to write the algorithm. See how to understand this problem. Please observe, we have been given say two numbers where these numbers I am storing into x and y. For example, I am storing 10 into x and into y I am storing 15. Now normally if I write print of x comma y, what I am displaying is I am displaying 10 and 15. But after swapping, what they are asking is swapping, interchanging means x value 10 should go into y and y value 15 should come into x. That means after swapping, suppose I am writing a print of x comma y, you will have 15 and 10 should be displayed. That means x value 10, y value 15 previously, but now x value is 15, y value is 10. So this is that means x value has gone into y and y value came into x. So I have to swap, that means I have to do something here. Swapping I have to do. So when I swap, after swapping, if I print this x and y values, they will be displayed after swapping, or they will be displayed as they are interchanged or swapped. So here I have to write the logic for swapping. Here I have to write the logic for swapping. So before swapping, x and y values are 10, 15. After swapping, I should get 15 and 10. So what is the logic I am going to use here? Now please observe, when we have taken x and y, there are two variables. I am taking here x, this is one variable, and y, this is another variable. Suppose let me take this variable as x and this variable as y. And in x I have stored 10 already, and in y already I have stored 15. Now these two values I have to swap. So some people will think like this: store y value into x and store x value into y. That means they say like this: into x you store y value. That means x is equal to y. That means store y value into left side variable x. And similarly into y store x value. So this is what some students think like this. If you write like this, what happens? Let us see. See, I am having again x and y. So what you are doing is you are storing. See, if you execute this step, this x is equal to y. So what you are doing is you are storing y value into x. That means this y value you are storing into x. Then what you will have in x is 15. So this is x again and this is y. Now what happened is y value 15 you stored into x. That means in the x, the previous value of 10 is overwritten by 15. Now in x you are having 15. Now when you execute the second statement, y is equal to x, that means you are storing x into y. So this x value you are storing into y. That means this x value 15 you are storing into this y. So 15 is again stored into y. So if you display x and y values, it will display 15 and 15. So this is not swapping. Please remember this. Why? Because see, okay, I will write this logic part. I will implement this logic part and let us see how the things will work. So I am taking step number 1, start, and step number 2, take x value some 10 and take y value 15. And in the step number 3, what we are doing is we are swapping x and y values by writing x is equal to y, and then y is equal to x. And after swapping, I want to print. So before swapping also, let me print once again. So here I will print x and y values, and here this is a 4th step, this is a 5th one, this is the 6th one, and here I want to print once again x and y values to verify whether they are swapped or not, and then stop. So in this algorithm, we are doing a swapping here in these 4th and 5th steps. We are doing swapping, but this is not a correct algorithm. Let us see whether this is. Let us check whether this is a correct algorithm or not by writing the Python program. Swapping of two values or two numbers. I am taking x value 10, y value 15, and then what I am doing is I am writing x is equal to, let me print first. So print x comma y, and then I want to swap. So x is equal to y, x is equal to y, and y is equal to x. Then let me print once again x comma y. So these are original values. These should be swapped values. So is it really swapping or not? Let me check. So please observe, before swapping 10 and 15, x value 10, y value 15. But after swapping you are getting 15 and 15. That means x value 10 is lost, and y value 15 is here, and here also y value 15 is displayed. So you are getting a wrong output. So that is what we have seen here in this case. We have seen here 15, 15 we have seen already. So what is here happening is when you store y value into x, you are losing x value, because y value 15, this y value 15 is overwritten in the place of 10. So 10 is deleted and in that place 15 is stored. So x value is overwritten by y value. So you are losing this 10. And this 15 is coming here, and again if you store x value into y, that 15 is going into y. So 15, 15 you are getting. This is not the proper way. So what we are supposed to do is, before you lose this x value, store this x value 10 in a temporary variable, because you are going to lose this x value 10. Because y value 15 is overwriting this, you may lose this 10. So before losing this value, you store this. You protect this x value 10 by saving it in some other variable, some other temporary variable t. So how the logic looks like? Let me show you this logic. So this is our previous logic, of course. And now what I want to do is, now I am taking x value 10 once again and y value suppose 15, and if I write to print of x comma y, it will print 10 and 15. Now here I have to write the logic for swapping. So what is the logic? So I have taken x and y, and what I did is one more temporary variable t also I am taking. So here this is x variable. Variable means nothing but memory where you can store data, and this is y variable. In x I stored 10 and in y I stored 15, and this is a temporary variable, nothing is there here. Now first what I do is, I will store this x value 10 into this temporary variable t. So this is step number 1. That means into temporary variable t means this t value will become 10. So how can I write this step? This step I can write like this: into t temporary variable store x value. This is a step I have written. Then you store this y value into this x. This is a step number 2. When you store y value 15 into this x, this 10 is overwritten by 15. That means you will not have 10 here. You will have 15. So 15 is stored in x. But what we want is previous value of x, which I have already stored into t. This t I should store into this y, because y should receive x value. So this will be the third step. Now what is my second step is, into x I stored y value. I stored y value to x. This is my second step. And in the third step, from this temporary variable t, this 10 I want to store into y. Now what happens is, this y value 15 is overwritten by this t value 10. That means in the place of this 15, I will have 10. That means this step I can write like this: into y I am storing t value. So now you observe this, these values are swapped. If you observe this x and y values, they are swapped. X value is becoming 15 and y value is becoming 10. Previously x value 10, y value 15. Now they became 15 and 10. They are swapped. So if you write a print statement once again like this: x comma y, they will print 15 and then 10. 15 and 10 they will print. So this is how you have to swap or interchange two given values. So let me develop the algorithm using these steps. In the second step, I can take input x and y values. I can take them from the keyboard, or directly also I can take x and y values in the program, no problem. Then print x and y values just for our verification. Then you have to swap this x and y values by using a temporary variable. So first into t you store x value, then into x you store y value, and then from temporary variable t you should store that t value into y. So y is equal to t. You are storing t value into y. So swapping is done. Now you can print x and y value. Swapped x and y value you can see. Then you can stop. So this is the algorithm to swap or interchange two values. Let us check whether this algorithm is correct or not by writing the Python program. So here swapping of two values. This is our previous program. Here what I do is I will take the x and y values from the keyboard. So x is equal to int of input of x is equal to, so integer number I am storing into x, and another integer number I want to store into y. So x and y I have taken from the keyboard. Let me display this x and y values before proceeding further. Then let me store x value into t. Into x I want to store y value, and into y I have to store that t value again. And after swapping, let me display x and y values. So this is our program. File save, run module. So it is asking me x is equal to 10 I am giving, y is equal to 15 I am giving. See, before swapping the x value 10, y value 15, But after swapping, it is showing me 15 and 10. That means x value 15, y value 10. So the values are interchanged. That means x value has gone into y and y value has come into x. So this is a logic to swap two values.